Welcome back, everyone. Scurv here, the Scurv podcast. Yes, life is a never-ending string of surprises, of ways for you to sharpen your personal sword. I say it that way because either you go through fight or flight. Either you sink or float. Either you get stronger or you get broken. And when I was really young, really young, 5 and 6 years old, and I would go around with my parents, and especially when it was just me and my father, we would drive around through New York City. As you know, he had his own business, different work sites. So I had a chance to take in New York City at a time when it was at its most vibrant, when they had that DNA of the original New York City, not the watered down version that it is now and it's been for the last couple of decades, but the imagery, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the scents, the grittiness of it all, the good, the bad, the ugly. That collage is stuck in my head mentally forever. It's embedded. And it's the palette from which I paint from, meaning that there's so much in my mind and subconscious mind that it's a lifetime of, how can I put it? It's a lifetime of motivation, inspiration, and insight. The foundation for the insight in such a wonderful place that could be wonderful or terrible, depending how you move in it. And one of the things in going around and absorbing these visuals of that amazing city was being in single-digit ages in the 60s, born in 63. So when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, it was 1970, but 5 and 6 years old, seeing these powerful visuals of things that my mind didn't understand enough to digest. One thing that stuck out in my mind and kind of bothered me is when I saw people who were broken. Did I know they were broken then? No. But I would see men and women who might have been sitting on a park bench, sitting on a curb, walking up and down the street, just clothes soiled. It was as though they didn't care. It wasn't so much that, it was that they were homeless and on drugs. And drugs makes it where your priorities shift, because now the main thing in your life is to get high. So you neglect yourself. But those layers I didn't understand. I understood them shortly after, because I would always ask questions to my father and he would explain to me. But at first, for a little while, you'd see people and you see different levels of being broken. And so you know when you're a child, you're in that why phase. Why? Why are they like this? Why don't they get up and wash up in the morning? And you're not being cruel, because you're comparing their reality to yours, and yours of what the world considers normalcy, where you live somewhere and you get up and you wash yourself, you brush your teeth, you clean yourself, and every now and then you get your hair cut and you have that base. They don't have that base. Then you would see folks who are mentally ill, And I wanted to know why they were like this. From a younger child, I wanted to know why. I was always interested in human nature without being able to put a label on it like I do now. Never went to school for it, just observant. The same way I was observant when it came to artwork. Not other people's artwork, but my own. I wanted to replicate on paper what I saw in the world. So I studied how light danced off of different objects and how different light would dance off of a chrome pole that you hold on to in the subway, as opposed to how light danced off of corduroy material, like in corduroy pants, as opposed to a silk shirt, and how many wrinkles it had and how it behaved. So my eyes were wide open with a lot of things. And you know what? I pride myself in having my eyes wide open with all things now. And the tiniest details usually tell you the most. When we look at the overall, that's a start. But let's get down to the details. And so, in figuring out why these people were broken, for the most part, unless they were born with mental illness, I found out that most had a normal life. Most had jobs. I'm talking about adults now. They had jobs, they had families, they had people who loved them, people who they loved, and everybody's story wasn't the same. So now I wanted to know stories, but I couldn't walk up to somebody and just ask. So I had to figure it out for myself by observing. And what I found out was that it's a wide, almost vast, almost unlimited way of being broken, reasons to be broken. And I found out that what breaks one person wouldn't break another. And that was interesting to me. So I had to dig deeper as to what their makeup was, meaning that one man, when I say man, I mean man and woman, one man can endure what breaks another man severely. But then that other guy who was broken severely might be stronger in ways that tough man is not. Wow, so much ground to cover. So I'm observing all day long, not just in that category, but when I was younger, I was collecting data and downloading it in my mind so much. It reflects in my writing, my art, my grittiness, my understanding. And I hate to say I have wisdom, because the minute you begin to say you have this, to me it's almost ego taking over. I don't tell myself I have wisdom. I may know a little bit, but the minute you think you know everything, the world, the universe is going to show you that you don't know much at all. So I never carry myself with that kind of arrogance. That being said, I found out that different forms of betrayal will break you, or it's going to make you stronger. And I observed that particular thing for a long time, because in actuality, I did not want to grow up and end up like that. I had an extremely close example of that in a different way. Many of you who follow the platform here know that I have a brother who is 11 years older than me, who from a young age started to use drugs, heroin, or marijuana, heroin, eventually crack, and God knows what else. He's one of the most brilliant people I know, college educated, and can speak to you on any topic as far as a global view, politics, business, finance, history. He can speak to a corporate boardroom as well as the guys on the street and blend in also. A true chameleon, but a con man. We had different fathers, and I don't know which part along the way broke him. Maybe when my mother married my father and had me, and maybe he felt like an outsider. We never had that conversation. And I haven't seen him since 1998 in a chance meeting in the street. And I believe it was 7th Avenue and 26th Street. Walking down the street in Manhattan, see him. We talked a little bit. He asked me for some money. I gave him a couple bucks, knowing exactly where it's going to go to, but knowing that I might not see him again. It was true. That was 28 years ago. That alone, with my immediate family, parents, as far as who's older than me, coming up, deceased. I don't know if he's deceased or not. So I see myself, aside from my children, as a sole survivor. And I have to hold on. And I have to be strong. And I have to bridge the gap from my generation down to my children. That's a heck of a weight to carry on your shoulders when you realize that. Because I realize that when one transitions, not only do they die, which is not real death, I don't believe that, but their stories, their potential, their fears, their aspirations, all of the things that made that person so unique, that you can vibe with, that you can learn with, that you can grab real history from, is gone. So this is why, for me, to document my life and my experiences, and to speak to others and share their experiences and their lives on this platform, really does it for me. And although YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitter, Instagram wasn't around then, I was social media. I was absorbing the stories, absorbing all things around me, to be able to present it here, not knowing that this was going to exist. But here I am. That being said, I am the sum total of all the experiences I've ever had that have chiseled away the good and the bad, made me unique, and you're to see yourself the same way. You are precious. What you've been through in this life may be similar to other people, but it's unique, and you need to share your story somehow, and it may not be on social media. It might be face to face with one person. And when you know someone who has accumulated many years of their life, talk to them. They have something to share for you that will help you, no matter how they look now. They could be rich, they could be poor, they could be in the gutter, they could be broken, and teach you how not to be broken, whether they tell you or whether they just tell you their story and you observe. That being said, the topic today is betrayal. Betrayal created your edge. They tried to destroy you. Instead, they forged you. And this is when you're betrayed and you overcome. The storm they created, they broke you. And for a long time, you believed that meant you lost. You trusted when calculation would have protected you. You showed mercy when strength would have kept you safe. You followed rules that were never written for your victory, only for your obedience. And when it all collapsed, You were left holding the damage while others walked away clean. What they never understood was that every wound they carved into you carried information. Every betrayal taught you something they never intended to teach. Every moment they made you feel powerless was quietly shaping something far more dangerous than resentment. It was forging awareness. Broken men always go one of two ways. Like I said earlier, most stay broken. They drag their pain behind them like chains, waiting for fairness, hoping for apologies that never come. But a smaller group realizes something most never will. The pain wasn't the end. It was the beginning. When everything is taken from you, when illusions burn away, you are given one rare opportunity. You get to rebuild yourself exactly as you choose. And when you do, the world won't recognize you until it's far too late. Pain changes men whether they want it to or not. The difference is whether the change weakens or sharpens you. Most men numb themselves, distract themselves, or cling to old beliefs that already failed them. But the men who transform do something else. They study. They stop asking why it happened and start asking how it worked. They observe patterns. They recognize manipulation. They learn how trust was weaponized against them. They see how vulnerability became leverage. That awareness alone already separates them from the man they used to be. The world fears men who learn from suffering because those men no longer operate on hope. They operate on understanding. They no longer seek approval from systems that thrive on their obedience. They move differently because they see clearly. The world does not run on fairness. It runs on power dynamics. Loyalty has conditions. Morality is often enforced on the powerless while the powerful move freely above it. Once you truly accept this, something inside you hardens in a useful way. You stop being shocked by betrayal. You stop expecting people to protect your interests out of kindness. You stop mistaking warmth for safety. You realize that being good without being protected is a liability. This is where the rebuilt man draws a line. Trust is no longer given freely. Presence becomes a privilege. Access is earned slowly and revoked instantly. Emotion becomes private fuel, never public weakness. This isn't cruelty, it's realism. Emotional revenge keeps you tied to the people who hurt you. It's reactive. It's noisy. It gives them power long after they should be irrelevant. Strategic transformation does the opposite. It makes you unreachable. You stop explaining yourself to people who weaponize your honesty. You stop defending boundaries to those who never respected them. You observe more, speak less, and act only when the outcome is already secured. This is the moment you stop being a piece on the board and become the one moving pieces. You don't announce moves. You don't seek validation. You let results speak. There's a version of you that cannot survive this transformation. The one who apologized for existing. The one who overgave, over-explained, and over-trusted. The one who confused kindness with weakness and vulnerability with safety. That version has to die. Not gently, not comfortably. You grieve him because he carried you as far as he could. But you don't keep him alive out of guilt. Transformation is violent because it strips away everything that made you exploitable. What replaces him is not emptiness, it's clarity. Real power does not announce itself. It does not flex. It does not post. It moves quietly until resistance is pointless. Men who have been broken understand this instinctively because exposure once cost them everything. You become selective with your visibility. You share less. You reveal nothing that can be used against you. You let people underestimate you while you build quietly behind walls they don't even know exist. You master the art of being present without being accessible, pleasant without being open, functional without being transparent. This is not hiding. This is efficiency. Once you've been manipulated, you recognize manipulation everywhere. You see gaslighting, triangulation, projection, and emotional traps in real time. And because you see them, they no longer work. You stop arguing reality with liars. You stop engaging in emotional bait. You enforce boundaries through action, not explanation. You ask questions that expose motives instead of making statements that invite debate. This isn't aggression. It's precision. Ruthlessness without purpose is chaos. Purpose without boundaries is weakness. Controlled ruthlessness sits between them. It allows you to cut off what drains you without guilt and prioritize advancement without apology. You evaluate relationships based on cost versus return. If the equation is negative, access ends. Not dramatically, not emotionally, cleanly. Cold does not mean cruel. Cold simply means protected. The man you are becoming cannot exist in the same social reality you once occupied. Some relationships fall away. Some conversations no longer interest you. Some people feel uncomfortable around your silence. That's the price of elevation. You're not losing anything real. You're shedding illusions. You're releasing people who only value the version of you that served them. What you gain is self-reliance, clarity, and an internal standard that no one else gets to negotiate. The final evolution is creation. You turn pain into productivity, betrayal into wisdom, isolation into focus. You build something that outlasts the people who doubted you without ever needing them to see it. Legacy is the only revenge that matters because it doesn't require their attention. You stop competing with others and start competing with your past self. You measure success internally, You move freely because nothing external controls you anymore. You don't stay in the story of what happened to you. You become the author of what happens next. You don't announce the transformation. You embody it. They broke you once. That was their mistake. What rises now does not beg, explain, or seek permission. It builds. It protects. It moves forward without apology. You are the storm they created. And storms don't ask for understanding. They reshape the landscape. Once I embraced this elevated thought, it was like a weight dropping off of me, especially in my position as a sole survivor of my bloodline. And the world looked different. And I knew that every day that came, every day that arrived, I had something to do on multiple levels. I had to dig deeper within myself, and even going back, not out of anger or revenge, but to really examine the times of betrayal in my life, so that not only can I protect myself better, but I can have a deeper understanding of it so that I can see it coming long before it tries to come into my life again. I can't say that a person, or even myself, is foolproof or totally protected where it's never going to happen again. We can think that we don't have chinks in our armor, but sometimes we don't place all of the armor on that we're supposed to because we're not aware of that part that's vulnerable. So for me, I think I'm much better protected than before. I think that less influences me to take me away from my mission internally. I know that much. And I do know that I'm cutting through obstacles so much easier because they have to have access to you to be able to do that. And like Muhammad Ali always would say, you can't hit what you can't see. I would always make myself accessible. I would always be there to pick up every phone call. I would always be the one that people would call 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the night to help them, even if it was something minor. Even if you were feeling down and bad, you can call me, and I'd give up on my own sleep just to help. I'm still that person, but I budget it wisely. I don't give as freely because I've learned that the majority of people out here are takers. They will take. And you might think that you're winning them for life, winning brownie points that they will remember, that you can redeem at a later date when you go through something. But I found out the hard way. I have given, I've shared secrets, and when I say secrets, meaning that whatever little ways of righteously cutting corners in the different endeavors that I'm involved in, I would show people, help them, elevate them, long before their legs were strong enough to stand on their own, or long after rather. So, keep your energy to yourself. You can share it, but be careful how you share it. Be careful and make sure that you're getting something in return. Now, when it comes to a child, sure, give freely. I'd rather give to them and help to build them up than people who are basically grown-ass adults who are takers and look to seek and destroy you after they took all that they could from you. And I always found that to be funny. And Dame Dash, once again, I can't quote him exactly, but pretty much to paraphrase him, he said that when you help men, and he specifically meant men, when you help a man who's down and you lift him up, after a time, with this being in his memory, he begins to resent you. He begins to resent you for helping him. Not necessarily will this individual say, well, he helped me so I can't stand him. No. But as a man, we want to see ourselves on a superior level, empowered. And when these individuals think back that you helped them, they don't become gracious and full of gratitude. No. Basically, they start to think, and this is not all men now, who do you think you are for helping me? You think you're bad. You think you're better than me because you helped me. Now that's a sick mind. But those are the people that when they help someone, they do it out of that type of motivation. And if you think this way, you have a lot to learn. So even those you help may be your future enemy because they'll think back to the time that they were vulnerable, not that they really got the help from you, but you saw them at a vulnerable point, see? And they can't stand that because that's something that you can't erase. That happened and you can never change it. And that person can soar the heights and be very successful, but they'll always remember the time that they were helped by you. And oftentimes, and again, not every time, but they will resent you. That's something that I want to really explore deeper because I've had that happen to me. You break your back, you bring a person along, you show them the ropes, you promote them, you help them, and they end up wanting to destroy you. That could be several topics to speak on, and I know them well. But as sure-footed as I am now, betrayal has not destroyed me. And there are many reasons for people wanting to destroy you. When they see you, it's like a ghost, like they're seeing a ghost, because they figured their betrayal would destroy you and break your momentum from you realizing the destiny that you were put on this earth to fulfill and the mission that you were put on this earth to accomplish. Remember, all of us have a mission, large or small. It may not be where our name is supposed to be up in lights. It may not be for all of us to have platforms that have millions of followers and signing autographs and taking selfies, and all of that is fluff. But you do have a mission. And it's going to be a unique mission. It may be a mission that the world never sees. It may be a mission that is not meant for the world to see. Again, I'm going to use this analogy. You see a beautiful watch, let's just say a Rolex, something that's respected across the board as far as high-end watches. You see the face of this watch. You see the second hand, the minute hand, the hour hand. You see the gold. You see how it's wonderfully made on the faceplate. But that's not what makes a Rolex great. As a matter of fact, that's not what makes any watch the best part of it. The best part of a watch is what you don't see. It's those little gears that are so small you have to squint to see them. Keeping the time, working along with other gears. Unless you pull that faceplate back to see what's really making that watch work, you'll never have a full appreciation for that Rolex. So do know that when you're hidden behind the scenes and you have a mission, that I can see you and I appreciate you. I'm not one who's starstruck to just see the faceplate of the celebrity and go crazy over them, because I know there's so much more behind them. So fulfill your mission, protect yourself against betrayal, and if you are betrayed, realize that it's not a waste of time. Not that you want to continue to be betrayed, but it's going to elevate you when you take it the right way. Study it, learn it, and know that this is going to make you greater, no matter how much it hurts. I hope these words have been a ray of sunshine through the clouds sometime, because we go through storms and we think the sun doesn't exist anymore, but the sun is always there with rays for you specifically. That's how life is. This is a training center to make us better. We are born a clean slate. We are shaped by our experiences. We grow, and sometimes, unfortunately, we become broken. If you got this far listening to this, even if you feel broken, you're not. You're going to get better. It always happens that way. So I hope these words have helped you, and I'm on to the next one. It's always a pleasure and an honor that you spend this time with me, and I look forward to the next one. And do know that I truly appreciate you and love you all, and I love your comments. So let's interact in the comments section, and I have a whole lot more coming for you. Always go to lancescurvx.com and put in your email address so that we can keep up with each other without the interference of the social media platforms, their algorithms, and their shadow banning. We have a direct relationship. Every time I post something, it'll go directly into your inbox. It can't get any better than that. Much love to you all. Take care. I hope you have a wonderful day. Lance Scurv out. Peace.